Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. My name's Andrew Mclean and I'm a portrait and wedding photographer from Sheffield. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I use off-camera flash, what equipment I use, how I use it and the results that it gets. And this is a video that's actually been requested by you guys, and when I say requested I don't mean like when Instagram influencers say, oh my god, all of my fans have been asking me where I got this plain white t-shirt from and here's where you can get your... No, it's not one of those. A few people have genuinely just messaged me and asked what equipment that I use for shooting off camera flash, how I do it and how I get the results that I do. So that's what today's video is all about. So first and foremost, it doesn't take a lot of equipment to do this, and also it doesn't have to cost either. All the equipment that I'm going to go through with you in a moment, in total, all adds up to £250, and actually somebody that assisted me on a previous shoot went out and purchased this whole setup himself based on my recommendations and having seen me using this equipment, and I think he got it for even less than that. I think he got it for about £220 all in. So yeah, it's definitely something that's feasible. So I'm going to go through each item in part, and then afterwards I'm going to show you how I put them all together. So really straightforward. First thing that you need is a light stand. Now I actually got this as part of a kit a long time ago when I just got some continuous lighting for studio shooting. But you can pick these up for I think less than 20 quid, to be fair. All it needs to be is just a stand that you can put a clamp onto at the top or an attachment. Obviously the more extendable that it is the better, so this one is three sections. Obviously the legs just come out at the bottom so it can stand up, folds down so it's easy to carry, but yeah, like I say, about 20-25 quid. And this is going to be obviously the base of your off-camera flash setup. So next up we've got what's called an S-clamp. So with this goes on top of the light stand that we just looked at, attaches on there. It can be adjusted so it swivels at the top, and then all you do is you put through your flash gun, twist the top to lock it in, and then it's what's called a Bowen's mount. So these attachments here, these three gaps here, that means that any Bowen's light modifiers can be attached to this really easily, although I don't actually tend to use any, but it's good to know that you can use them if you want to. The only thing that I use is this gap just here, which is what I put my modifier through, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. So yeah, the S-clamp, I think that I spent about £27-28 on this. Again, definitely less than 30 quid, probably about 25-26 quid, something like that. So yeah, this just goes on top of your light stand. Next up we have the light source itself, and I use a Godox TT685 flash for Sony. This is less than £100. Godox, although they're not sort of a main brand name, so it's not like obviously a Sony flash, I've always found that they're really reliable. I've used Godox flashes for Sony, for Canon, I've used other Godox equipment and never had any problems with it whatsoever, and it's significantly cheaper than your main branded ones. So yeah, this is the TT685. You can use it on camera, and I have used it on camera, but obviously I'm now using it off of camera. Obviously you've got the adjustable head, you've got the diffuser that comes out here, but all I do is just fix this through that S-clamp that I've just shown you, attach it onto there, and then I fire it wirelessly using the Godox trigger. So this is the Godox X Pro 1 trigger, and you can cover up to 4 separate light sources from this trigger, although obviously I'm just using the one. But yeah, so this is less than £100. I believe that this is about £50 or £60, so 150 quid will get you both of these, and this is obviously going to be your main expenditure. But you can get cheaper flashes with cheaper triggers, but these are the ones that I would recommend personally, because these are the ones that I use day in and day out. So finally we have a light modifier. Now there are two separate ones that I use. Mainly I just use an umbrella, and these you can get them for about 11 or 12 quid on Amazon. Really cheap. All it is, just a cheap umbrella. This section here goes through that gap that I showed you on the S-clamp, and then you fire the flash into this, and it then diffuses the light and casts a much nicer, softer light over your model rather than just that harsh bare bulb flash from the speed light. So that is the cheapest option, so that's the umbrella, although also I have an octobox. So this is a Volume X Pro octobox. I think it's 110 centimeters when it's extended. But basically all this does is provide a bigger surface area than the umbrella, and also it's a flat surface area, so it reflects off the inside of the brolly and then through the diffused material. But I only use this sort of if it's really dark and I need a bigger light source. Otherwise the brolly works just fine. And this, again, less than 30 quid. I think this was about 28 quid as well. So all in total, with one of the light modifiers, the S-clamp, the flash, the trigger and the light stand, you're looking at less than 250 quid. Which is, I think, is really good for a budget lighting setup for off-camera flash. And the main benefits of using off-camera flash are, for me personally, one is that I can control the light. So I have more control over where the light's falling on the model, which means that I can shoot in more places where I might not be able to without having that extra light source. The other thing is that it allows me to shoot at a lower ISO. So the vast majority of my images are shot at ISO 100, which wouldn't necessarily be feasible if I was shooting just using natural light. The third thing is that it gives a much cleaner image on the skin, for me personally. I find that by using the flash as a key light, it brings out all the texture in somebody's face, brings out all the features really nicely, and then by adjusting the highlights afterwards, I can really make sure that it's a natural look, so it's not too forced, the light isn't too bright, but just a natural look that really brings out the features of the model. And they're the reasons why I really like off-camera flash. So now I'm going to play some clips of behind the scenes when I'm using off-camera flash, and you can see from these images that more often than not I'm just using the umbrella. I'm using that usually at a 45-degree angle to the model's face, 45 degrees to the side and 45 degrees upwards to give that nice light, get that nice little shadow on the side of the nose, and I find that that gives a really nice look to the model in the final images. It is worth noting that often you may need to have somebody assisting you with lighting unless you've got a sandbag or something to hold it down, because the wind can get behind brollies and octoboxes and can send them flying. So that's the reason why I'm glad that umbrellas are so cheap, because I go through quite a lot of them. So yeah, having somebody on hand to assist, like Tom has done in these images that you're seeing now, can really be useful. So I'm going to show you the final images from those shoots that you saw behind the scenes in just a moment. But firstly, I just want to say, I hope that you really found this video useful. I hope that you got something out of it and that you're going to give off-camera flash a try. Really do recommend it, as it just gives you some variety to your images and it allows you to shoot in situations where you wouldn't be able to without using flash. Let me know in the comments down below what you use, or if you haven't used off-camera flash, what reservations you've got. If there are any products that you recommend that you think that I've missed out, let me know those as well. Do let me know if you try it out, either in the comments or drop me a message on Instagram. Like this video if you have done. Subscribe if you haven't already for weekly content. There's a lot more to come from myself in 2020. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.